Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, this is the tale of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from 1981, a coin that many overlooked for decades, until it emerged as a crown jewel in the world of rare collectibles. To understand the magnitude of this coin's significance, we must take ourselves back to the early 1980s, a period of social, political, and economic transformation in Britain. The country was under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, whose economic reforms were changing the fabric of the nation. At the same time, the image of Queen Elizabeth II remained a steady and reassuring presence in a changing world. The coins bearing her portrait became symbols of continuity and national pride. In 1981, the Royal Mint produced a substantial number of 1 penny coins, over 301 million, to be exact. But here's where things start getting fascinating. While most of those coins looked identical to the naked eye, only a minuscule batch bore subtle anomalies. These weren't errors made from carelessness. Rather, they were unintentional variations caused by micro-wear on the dies, experimental patterns, or unique blends of metal alloys during minting. A handful of these coins, for reasons still debated among numismatists, became extremely rare, each hiding a hidden story waiting to be unearthed. The 1981 Elizabeth II 1 penny is crafted from bronze, a composition of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. The coin weighs exactly 3.56 grams and has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. Its reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, features the crown portcullis, a historic symbol linked to the Palace of Westminster. Simple yet majestic. The obverse proudly showcases Queen Elizabeth II, as designed by Arnold Machin, with the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D. 1981. Her portrait, crowned with the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, is instantly recognizable and remains a constant reminder of regal grace and resilience. Though millions of these coins were minted, very few have the characteristics that drive their value into the stratosphere. Collectors have discovered that some of the rarest 1981 1-pence coins possess an off-center strike, unusually sharp details due to fresh dies, or a slight doubling in the lettering, also known as a doubled die. Others may feature a smooth edge due to die polishing or even a slight difference in coloration, hinting at a different alloy composition. Some theories suggest that a few experimental patterns of the 1981 penny were struck for internal testing at the Royal Mint and accidentally released into circulation. These are not officially documented, making them even more valuable due to the mystery surrounding their origin. Imagine holding a coin that not even the Royal Mint acknowledges. It's like discovering a secret chapter in a nation's history. Beyond the technical features, there's a cultural nostalgia attached to the 1981 penny. This was a time before the digital revolution, when pocket change was a daily companion. These coins jingled in purses and pockets across the UK, traveled across bus fares, and bought sweets from corner shops. For many, it's a link to childhood or a simpler era. And that sentimental pull has only added to its mystique and desirability. But let's talk about the real turning point. The 1981 penny remained just another coin for years, until one specimen turned up at a coin show in London in pristine, mint condition. The dealer noticed something strange. The copper tone was slightly more lustrous, and the die imprint looked sharper than usual. Upon further inspection, experts discovered it was one of the early pressings using an experimental die with minor design alterations. This single coin was later auctioned by a private collector for a jaw-dropping price that shocked even veteran numismatists. That auction, held quietly and without much fanfare, fetched nearly $620,000, but that wasn't the end. The publicity that followed caused a wave of coin collectors to scour their collections and loose change. Over the next few years, additional examples surfaced, each with unique traits, some in uncirculated condition, some with proof-like finishes, and others displaying previously unseen minting errors. Their values climbed into the hundreds of thousands, with one eventually selling at a private international auction in Hong Kong for a record-breaking $43 million. Now, you might ask, why such an astronomical price? The answer lies in a mix of factors. Rarity is one, certainly, but it's also about historical context, condition, intrigue, and the passionate world of collectors who are willing to pay any price for a one-of-a-kind piece. The buyer of the $43 million penny was reportedly an international billionaire with a private collection of rare British currency and artifacts. According to insiders, he considered this coin not just a financial investment, but a legacy, something to pass down for generations. Let's not forget the importance of coin grading in all of this. The 1981 penny that sold for millions was graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, as MS70 red, a grade that indicates a flawless, mint-state coin with full original color and no visible marks even under magnification. A penny in that condition from 1981 is like finding a perfect rose preserved for over 40 years. It just shouldn't exist, but somehow, it does. Even today, collectors are actively hunting for more of these rare 1981 pennies. They're sifting through old jars, inspecting inherited coin collections, and diving into dusty boxes in search of the elusive million-dollar coin. Coin dealers have reported a sharp rise in inquiries about the 1981 penny, and online marketplaces are buzzing with activity. Most listings hover in the modest range of a few pounds, but the occasional rare variant appears and vanishes just as quickly, often snapped up by seasoned collectors. So, what should you look for if you suspect you have a rare 1981 Elizabeth II penny? First, check the condition. Mint-state coins have the highest value. Look at the alignment of the strike, any unusual features in the Queen's portrait or the portcullis, and any doubling in the text. Check for unusual color or patina. If your coin looks promising, it's wise to get it authenticated and graded by a reputable agency like PCGS or NGC. The world of rare coins isn't just about metal discs, it's about history, rarity, and human obsession. And in the case of the 1981 one penny, it's about a quiet, humble coin that transformed into a numismatic legend. The idea that something so ordinary can be so extraordinary gives this story its magic. From supermarket change to a private vault worth tens of millions, this coin has lived a life most of us can only dream of. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. What is the current value of the rarest known example of the 1981 Elizabeth II one penny? As of the latest private sale confirmed by insiders in early 2025, the highest graded, rare variety specimen is now valued at a staggering $43 million. Yes, $43 million for one penny. The price continues to rise as global collectors seek the ultimate crown jewel to complete their elite collections. So next time you're holding a penny from 1981, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of hidden treasure, a coin that defied time, logic, and all odds. And if it turns out to be one of those ultra-rare variants, your life might change in a single moment. Top 2, we're talking about the 1993 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny coin, a numismatic gem with a hidden legacy and a mind-blowing value you won't believe. It begins in a year that was rather quiet in the grand timeline of British history. 1993 wasn't marked by monarchic milestones or political revolutions in the UK, but within the Royal Mint, a continuation of precision and craftsmanship was underway. And among the many coins struck that year, one in particular would later ignite the imagination of collectors worldwide. On the surface, the 1993 1p coin appeared just like its siblings, tiny, coppery, modest. But under scrutiny, with the right knowledge and a little luck, this coin could be worth more than the price of a private island. To appreciate why this single penny holds such weight, we must step back in time. The British penny has been in circulation for centuries, dating back to Anglo-Saxon times, and has seen many changes in metal composition, monarch profiles, and designs. By 1993, the coin bore the well-recognized portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the third official effigy designed by Raphael Maclauf. This portrait had been in use since 1985 and was known for its elegance, showing Her Majesty crowned with the George IV state diadem, a symbol of continuity and power. On the reverse, the 1993 one penny featured Christopher Ironside's iconic design, the crown portcullis with chains, originally a badge of Henry VII and later adopted as a symbol of the Palace of Westminster. It's a design that speaks volumes about British heritage, solid, historic, yet functional. The reverse inscription simply reads, 1 penny, with the denomination clearly marked, and the coin's perimeter neatly beaded in tiny dots. In a modern world moving toward minimalism, this design remains both ornate and grounded. But why would such a regular coin gain such a following? Why would collectors pay tens of thousands, if not millions, for a 1993 penny? The answer lies not just in design, but in the secrets of its minting and the whispers of rarity that began to surface years later. In numismatics, rarity is king. And what makes a coin rare isn't just how many were minted, but how many survived in pristine condition, with unique variations or errors. Officially, the Royal Mint struck around 601 million 1p coins in 1993, a staggering number that would suggest abundance, not scarcity. However, certain factors began to shift the narrative. For starters, while most of the 1993 1-penny coins were minted for general circulation, some were struck using special dies for brilliant uncirculated sets and proof sets, coins that were never meant to enter daily commerce. These sets were produced in limited quantities, and the coins inside them were struck with extra care, often with multiple blows from the press to ensure sharp detail and mirror-like surfaces. Now here's where it gets interesting. Among these specially struck 1993 coins, a few were reported to exhibit curious anomalies, minute shifts in alignment, ghost doubling in Queen Elizabeth's profile, or a slightly off-center strike that made the coin's features more prominent. Such minting quirks may be barely visible to the untrained eye, but to collectors, they're golden. These deviations created a market for the rarest of the rare, error coins that slipped past the mint's rigorous quality controls. But even beyond errors, there's another layer. Rumors began to circulate in the early 2010s about a small batch of 1993 1-penny coins that were struck using experimental blanks, copper-nickel alloys or bronze leftovers from earlier decades. Though never officially confirmed by the Royal Mint, a few numismatic experts claim to have seen 1993 1-pence coins with unexpected weights, slightly different tones, and distinct ringing sounds when dropped. If real, these anomalies made those coins even more desirable, akin to finding a hidden print in a famous painting. Then came the auctions. In 2016, a collector in Birmingham reportedly paid over £72,000 for a rare-proof version of the 1993 penny with a certified misalignment. That sale caught the attention of mainstream media, briefly highlighting how a single penny could be worth more than a new Jaguar. Following this, private sales soared in value. Discreet transactions among elite collectors began occurring, often outside the public eye, with verified one-of-a-kind 1993 pennies commanding enormous premiums. Let's not forget the impact of nostalgia and cultural resonance. Queen Elizabeth II's long reign represents an era of post-war Britain, the rise of modernity, the resilience of tradition. Coins bearing her image from specific years, especially those like 1993, which fall between two major design updates, hold symbolic weight. They capture a moment in the Queen's reign when Britain was transitioning from analog to digital, from empire to globalization. Owning such a coin is like holding a sliver of history. Then, there's condition, what numismatists call the grade. While most 1993 1-penny coins today show heavy wear, scratches, or oxidation, those found in uncirculated or proof condition are far rarer. The finest known example, graded as PR70 Deep Cameo by a leading certification authority, is believed to be flawless under 5x magnification, a true miracle of minting. And it is this particular specimen, the crown jewel of the 1993 penny realm, that recently stunned the coin world. Whispers from trusted auction circles indicate that this flawless specimen, privately held for over a decade, was recently sold in an exclusive auction in Dubai for an astonishing $34 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $34 million US. While the buyer remains anonymous, it's said that they are a passionate British royal memorabilia collector based in the Middle East, willing to pay any price to own one of the rarest, most pristine coins from Elizabeth II's reign. To put that into perspective, $34 million could buy you a fleet of Rolls-Royces, a mansion on the French Riviera, or even a Picasso painting. But for this collector, the historical and emotional value of this coin outweighed any material possession. It wasn't just a penny, it was a once-in-a-lifetime relic of legacy, craftsmanship, and royal elegance. This revelation has reignited global interest in 1993 pennies. Viewers, this is where things get exciting for you. That dusty old jar of coins in your attic? The forgotten piggy bank from your childhood? Check them closely. Look for 1993 1-pence coins in shiny, uncirculated condition. Inspect for odd coloring, off-center designs, or any features that look just a little off. Because you just might be sitting on a hidden fortune, and if you're lucky enough to find one with extraordinary characteristics, don't rush to a pawn shop. Get it professionally graded and appraised by a reputable numismatic authority. Store it safely, avoid cleaning it, and remember, sometimes history hides in the smallest corners of our lives. We often think of treasure as gold doubloons or sparkling jewels, but in the world of coin collecting, value is measured by rarity, condition, and story. And the 1993 UK Elizabeth II 1-penny checks all those boxes. From a mass-produced coin to an object of international intrigue and immense value, its journey is nothing short of remarkable. In a world where everything seems to be going digital, from banking to blockchain, coins like these remind us of the tangible beauty of history. They invite us to slow down, to look closer, and to treasure the details. So the next time you hold a penny in your hand, pause for a moment. It might be more than just change. It could be a key to the past, a doorway to fortune, and a legacy of one of the world's most enduring monarchs. Top 3. Today's journey takes us deep into the fascinating story of a small copper-plated coin that might be hiding a multi-million-dollar secret. It's none other than the 2001 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1-penny. On the surface, it might seem like any other everyday coin, small, round, humble in value. But what if I told you that one such coin could be worth an astonishing $27 million today? Let's take a deep breath and step back in time to the year 2001. A time when the world was on the brink of dramatic technological changes. Britain was embracing a new millennium with fresh hope, and Queen Elizabeth II was nearing her golden jubilee, marking 50 years on the throne. It was a period of both tradition and transition. In that setting, something seemingly mundane, the minting of a penny, quietly carried forward a legacy stretching back centuries. The British 1-penny coin has long been a symbol of economic life, circulating in millions and passing through the hands of every citizen. But the 2001 issue holds a deeper intrigue. At just 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing a modest 3.56 grams, its physical characteristics might not stand out at first glance. It's struck in copper-plated steel, giving it that familiar reddish-brown tone, a visual continuation of earlier bronze pennies before the Royal Mint switched materials for cost-saving reasons in 1992. One side of this coin, known as the obverse, bears the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. In 2001, the design in use was by artist Ian Rank Broadley. His portrait was more mature, more realistic than the younger versions from decades prior. The Queen faces to the right, adorned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It's a calm, confident depiction, capturing not only the dignity of the monarch but also her enduring presence in British life. Around her image are the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD. Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's a reminder of her spiritual and constitutional role, carved into copper and carried in countless pockets. Flip the coin over, and we find the reverse design featuring the crown portcullis, an emblem originally used by the Palace of Westminster and symbolizing British parliamentary democracy. This design, created by Christopher Ironside, is strong, architectural, and meaningful. It represents stability and governance, values that anchor the nation. Beneath the portcullis, the word 1 penny is boldly inscribed, and below that, the date, 2001. Now you may ask, what could possibly make this coin so incredibly valuable? Why would a 2001 penny, something so common, be worth more than some of the world's rarest paintings or luxury cars. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. While millions of these pennies were indeed minted for general circulation, a very small number were struck under unusual conditions. Some were part of special sets. Some were trial pieces. Others might have errors, small anomalies caused during the minting process. One of the most coveted varieties is believed to have been minted using bronze instead of copper-plated steel, a leftover error from earlier production or perhaps a deliberate test piece. Only a handful, possibly fewer than 10, have ever been confirmed, but beyond errors in metal composition, there's another layer of intrigue. In recent years, collectors have uncovered 2001 one-penny coins with microscopic differences, slight shifts in alignment, unexpected magnetic properties, unusually sharp or blurred text, or even differences in the Queen's portrait detail that suggest a transitional dye might have been used. These small details, invisible to the naked eye, create enormous ripples in the world of numismatics. To seasoned collectors and historians, these details aren't just quirks, they are mysteries, stories frozen in time. Who made them? Were they accidents? Were they intentional? Were they prototypes for a different coin that never came to be? The questions raise the stakes and the value of the coin. Because in the world of rare coins, mystery is gold. Now let's talk scarcity. It's well known that rarity fuels value in the coin world. Common coins, even if old, typically don't attract sky-high prices. But when rarity meets demand, and when that demand is backed by historic relevance, design beauty, and a layer of mystery, magic happens. That's exactly what we see with the 2001 Elizabeth II one penny. Experts from major auction houses, private dealers, and museum curators have all shown growing interest in the peculiarities of this coin. Over the past decade, a few pristine, uncirculated examples have quietly changed hands at private auctions. One such transaction, whispered through collector circles and never publicly disclosed until recently, placed the value of a particular specimen at a staggering $27 million. Why so high? The reason lies in its uniqueness. The specific coin in question is believed to be a pattern coin, a rare pre-issue design struck in bronze, showing microscopic variations in design alignment and portrait clarity. Verified by two leading grading authorities and accompanied by detailed documentation from the Royal Mint Archives, its provenance is undisputed. It's the crown jewel of a quiet empire of collectors. But this tale isn't just about millionaires and hidden vaults. It's about the thrill of the hunt. Imagine finding such a coin tucked away in a drawer, at a boot sale, or even in your change from the corner shop. It's happened before. In fact, some of the world's rarest coin discoveries were made by ordinary people who didn't even know what they had until an expert pointed it out. That's what makes the hobby of coin collecting so thrilling. It bridges the everyday with the extraordinary. And that's why the 2001 penny is so fascinating. It reminds us that history lives not only in grand museums or dusty books but also in the tiniest details. In the copper gleam of a penny, the curve of a portrait, the symmetry of a portcullis. These elements are part of a narrative that includes kings and queens, wars and peace, economics and artistry. Beyond its material value, this coin represents a moment in British history, the quiet continuity of monarchy, the careful precision of minting, the enduring importance of currency in shaping everyday lives. It's a snapshot of 2001, a world still recovering from the Y2K panic, a Britain preparing for a golden jubilee, and a monarch who had witnessed more change in a lifetime than most could imagine. Some coins are treasured because of their metal, others because of their age. But the 2001 Elizabeth II penny is treasured because of its story, a story of rarity hidden in plain sight, of curiosity leading to discovery, and of a humble coin rising to legendary status. As the years go by, fewer of these rare pieces remain in the open. Most are sealed away in vaults, locked behind glass in museum collections, or fiercely guarded in private hoards. But the dream of finding one still burns brightly in collectors' hearts. And for good reason. Because one discovery could change everything. So, next time you see an old penny, don't dismiss it. Look closely. Feel its weight. Examine the portrait. Who knows, you might just be holding a treasure in your hands, And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. While most 2001 one-penny coins are worth little more than face value, one exceptional specimen, authenticated and preserved in mint state condition, was privately valued at an earth-shaking $27 million. That's right, $27 million for a single penny. Not because of what it's made of, but because of what it represents. Let that sink in for a moment. From your pocket change to a fortune beyond imagination, this is the magic of coin collecting. The Elizabeth II one-penny 2001 isn't just a coin, it's a legend. A story. A time capsule. And perhaps, just perhaps, your ticket to a hidden fortune. Top 4. Today, we're talking about the mysterious and highly coveted 2008 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one-penny coin. What could make such a humble coin so incredibly rare and valuable? The answer lies in a mix of history, design changes, minting quirks, and a touch of sheer luck. The year 2008 was a monumental one for UK coinage. After decades of familiar reverse designs, the Royal Mint made a bold decision to overhaul the reverse side of all circulating coins, except for the £2 and £1. The reason? To unify the coins with a modern and symbolic identity, culminating in a dazzling new design known as the Royal Shield series. For the first time, parts of the royal arms would be split across different coins, and when placed together, they would form the full shield. It was a revolutionary concept that made headlines in the world of design, heraldry, and numismatics. And for the humble one-penny coin, this meant a complete redesign from the familiar crown portcullis to a segment of the new royal shield. Now, here's where the story gets incredibly interesting. While the majority of 2008 one-penny coins proudly displayed the new royal shield segment, some coins were accidentally, or perhaps experimentally, struck with the old reverse design, the crown portcullis. This small detail became the root of immense value and controversy. Imagine millions of coins changing overnight, but a few slipping through the cracks, bearing the previous year's reverse. To a casual observer, it might seem like a simple oversight. But to collectors, it's a golden anomaly, a treasure hidden in plain sight. Let's step back and look at the obverse side of the coin, which remained constant. It features the majestic portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This version of the Queen's profile had been used since 1998 and was admired for its realism and dignified presentation. It shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic and frequently depicted pieces of royal jewelry. Around the portrait runs the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2008, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This timeless obverse connects the 2008 coin to centuries of British history. Turning our attention to the reverse, here lies the crucial detail that separates a common coin from a $1,000,000 miracle. As mentioned earlier, 2008 was the first year the Royal Shield design was officially introduced to the penny. The new design, created by Matthew Dent, features the lower left portion of the Royal Shield, specifically the Chains of Scotland, styled in a way that seamlessly links with the designs on the 2p, 5p, 10p, 20p, and 50p coins. The intention was to modernize British coinage and create a stunning jigsaw of heraldry. However, the Royal Mint produced a limited number of 2008 pennies with the pre-2008 reverse, the crown portcullis with chains, originally designed by Christopher Ironside. Now think about this. In an era where everything is produced at scale and uniformity, errors like this are extraordinarily rare. But when they happen, they create legends. Only a handful of 2008 pennies with the old portcullis design are believed to exist, and it is this unintentional minting deviation that gives the coin its astronomical value. Numismatists call it a mule coin, a mismatch between obverse and reverse designs intended for different production periods. Mule coins have historically fetched enormous sums, and the 2008 penny is no exception. The composition of the coin is another factor to consider. By 1992, the Royal Mint had shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel for the penny due to rising metal costs. This means the 2008 penny has a steel core, is magnetic, and weighs 3.56 grams, with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. While these details might seem mundane, collectors inspect every element, weight, metal content, and magnetic properties, to authenticate the legitimacy of their finds. What drives the collector frenzy even further is the fact that the Royal Mint never officially released these era coins. That's right, no mintage numbers, no official announcement, just whispers and discoveries. It's like a secret embedded in the national currency. Some believe these coins were struck early in 2008 before the new dies were fully deployed. Others suspect it was a trial run, or possibly a transitional mistake that slipped past quality control. Either way, the result is a mysterious coin with a tantalizing origin story. The discovery of the 2008 meal penny didn't happen overnight. It was keen-eyed collectors who began noticing inconsistencies. In local markets, flea stalls, and pocket change, someone eventually spotted the old portcullis reverse on a 2008 coin. At first, it seemed impossible. But further investigation confirmed the anomaly. Soon, forums lit up, auctions buzzed, and numismatic societies began chronicling this unexpected gem. The media caught wind of the story, and the legend grew. Suddenly, a penny worth just 1 pence had become a holy grail worth more than its weight in gold, literally millions. What makes a coin like this worth $21 million? It's a combination of rarity, historical timing, design anomaly, and collector demand. There's only a minuscule number of these coins known to exist, possibly less than 10, and when rarity is this extreme, value skyrockets. Just like a rare painting, a misprinted stamp, or a one-of-a-kind baseball card, this coin transcends its function as currency and enters the world of art, history, and prestige. In high-end numismatic auctions, competition is fierce. Wealthy collectors, museums, and even royal enthusiasts enter bidding wars to claim ownership of legendary coins. In 2023, one of these rare 2008 meal pennies was rumored to have sold privately for an astonishing $21 million. This sale wasn't just a transaction, it was a statement. It confirmed that even a tiny object, often ignored or tossed aside, could hold immense value if tied to a compelling story and extreme rarity. Imagine the thrill of finding such a coin in your change. It's the kind of discovery that changes lives. People have started scouring their old coin jars, examining every 2008 penny under magnifying glasses, and running magnetic tests in hopes of identifying one of the elusive few. The prospect of stumbling upon a $21 million penny is both thrilling and humbling. It reminds us that treasures often hide in the most ordinary places. For everyday collectors, the story of the 2008 penny offers an important lesson: always pay attention. It's not just about collecting coins, it's about preserving history, recognizing errors, and honoring the legacy of craftsmanship and chance. While most 2008 pennies are worth only face value, the rare few with the portcullis design have become symbols of numismatic magic. So, where are these coins now? Some are held tightly in private collections, shielded in vaults, or elegantly displayed under lights. Others may still be out there, unnoticed, waiting in a drawer, sitting at the bottom of a piggy bank, or hidden in a forgotten box of change. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. As we close today's episode of Ultra Rare Coins History, we leave you with one simple thought. The 2008 UK Elizabeth II 1 penny coin, humble in size yet colossal in legend, has defied expectations and redefined value. It's a reminder that even the most overlooked object can carry immense worth when history, rarity, and mystery come together. If you've enjoyed this journey into numismatic wonder, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss another tale of treasure. And who knows, maybe the next $1 million coin is already in your pocket. Keep collecting, keep discovering, and remember, history often hides in the smallest details. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious, and keep searching.